It is a privilege for me to meet you all, and thank you for inviting me to share about Chelmsford project. My name is Maria. I'm the church-related community worker in Chelmsford. This is my 4th year. I have 2 projects. One is at the local ecumenical partnership with the Anglican Church at Church of Our Savior, shortened to COS. And the other is North Avenue Mission Project. When I started the ministry, I had many new ideas and plans. However, before I opened my new chapter, I had a few obstacles. A vicar at the local ecumenical church retired as soon as I arrived, and soon after, the church building had a fire. Then the vacancy for a minister wasn't filling for 3.5 years. In the meanwhile, we built a new building, and when the building was completed, the COVID-19 arrived. At North Avenue, my first mission was to organize a closing service for North Avenue URC, where this church had served the community for 90 years. But the life of church was not at the end, as we launched a new ministry of the mission project. It was an exciting moment. Yet, I had to spend time of grief with ex-URC members for a few months. Although the church was weaker and weaker over the period, it was their spiritual home, and it was so hard to let it go. At the Synod meetings in the past, you may have heard from various people about the ministry of the North Avenue Mission Project. Therefore, today I will focus on 2 ministries in Chelmsford from a CRCW's perspective. First, Good Companions. The Good Companions is a dementia-friendly group. It does not only benefit people who suffer from dementia, but it also aims to improve the quality of life for senior citizens and to start the enabling of addressing issues of dementia in a meaningful and structured way. In fact, we didn't have dementia patients when we started. Yet, we have a few people who are struggling with their memories after the pandemics. This group is one of the small groups at COS. It was for the senior congregation gathering at one of the church members' house. But the person who offered the venue could not carry it on. So I suggest a dementia-friendly group at the church council meeting. I organized a team of people, and we visited 2 memory worship places in Essex. After the visit, we had a forum, and we concluded that the memory worship style was not what we needed. So I introduced the URC's Walking the Way resources, and I guided the direction for discipleships for seniors. I believe that discipleship is for everyone at any stage of the Christian journey, and its invitation is open to any generation. So Good Companions has been meeting since July 2019. We follow the Holy Habits booklets. Unfortunately, we could not finish all the habits because of the lockdown, and we started again in September last year. We meet on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays of the month between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., which includes a light meal. The first week is biblical learning, Holy Habits, and the 3rd week is for the social event. Before the pandemic, we gathered around 20 people each time. And this month, we had 27 people, and half of them are not our church members. They are from the community. The session includes dementia-friendly activities, discussion, sharing fellowship, creative prayers, singing hymns, and light meal. The COVID-19 pandemic has damaged older people's emotional well-being. According to AIDS UK's research, 1 in 3, 34% older people agree that their anxiety is now worse or much worse than before the start of the pandemic. As soon as the lockdown started, I began producing a weekly newsletter, and the Good Companions team contacted the individual members and had a telephone fellowship weekly. During the pandemic, the first Christmas, we delivered a Christmas meal to Good Companions. And last year, we managed to have Christmas party with some English jokes. Many of our Good Companions are still facing a lack of confidence, fear of self-neglect themselves, loneliness, and depression. But we will live together as we are, even if we are losing memories and physically limited being able to move. We will remember that we are loved by God, and we will be living in the memories of God. Moreover, we have learned an important lesson with the pandemics, that true friends will always be there for you, and happiness can truly be found in the darkest of times. Second thing, the Little Free Pantry. Some of you may have read my theological reflection of the Little Free Pantry on the URC's main webpage. There are 2 pantries in Chelmsford. The first one was launched at North Avenue in December 2019, just before the pandemic started, which we did not know about at the time. This project is a partnership with a local ecumenical group that serves a community cafe twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This Jubilee Community Cafe provides homemade food and refreshments at a reasonable price. Soon after my arrival in Chelmsford, I was informed that Food Bank closed at North Avenue as a distribution center with a short notice. So the Jubilee team and we prayed for God's wisdom and guidance on how to carry on serving the local people who live in one of the deprived areas in Chelmsford. Around the time, I read about the movement of the Little Free Pantry in America, which was so interesting. I sent an email to the founder in the United States, shared about my local context, which might be different from the States, and asked whether I could use her movement in the UK. She kindly emailed back to me and said I could use her project because it is a grassroots initiative, so it should be spread further. After a few meetings with the Jubilee team, we made a logo, butterflies. Butterflies have many metaphors, and we hope that the Little Free Pantry may influence this community for transforming to support each other and make a better place to live together. By now, you might have a question: how does it work? It is for neighbors helping neighbors. It is a safety net for the community. You need a pantry or a box and place it at the front of the building. Whoever needs something can take it from the pantry, and whoever gives what they have, leave it in the pantry. You do not need any referral forms. You can avoid having to meet people. And there is no time limited for using the pantry. The original Little Free Pantry is stocked organically. Give what you can. Take what you need. The second pantry was launched at COS. During the pandemics, the COS leaders approached me and said that they wanted to build the pantry too. They had noticed many young families were struggling financially, and many pensioners were getting into poverty and feeling isolated during the lockdowns. So when we had a little window where we could meet outside in the middle of the lockdown, we had a launch event with a cake sale in October 2020. We invited the neighbors, local councillors, and the Chelmsford mayor. Both pantries were used very well, especially during the lockdown. We made a little note to warn people that they should sanitize the items before and after using them. It is a sister project, which means that we share the donations between two places. One place has more demanding needs than others, so it is helpful to circulate the donations between two areas. Recently, local Morrisons has joined this project and provide their donations to us regularly. And a few local churches nearby asked me how to build their own pantries. It seems simple and great project. You might to do it instantly. However, as many projects would have some problems, we also have some difficulties. First, vandalism. Both pantries had vandalized by local people. The North Avenue pantry was knocked over by a young person. And the Coast pantry was vandalized by a teenager. We had a CCTV camera placed at both pantries, so we could see the footage of the incident. But both pantry teams did not want to approach the person straight away. We prayed and waited for the right time. Thankfully, before we made any action, we had no more vandalism happen after that. After the vandalism, when the lockdown was eased, Barnabas, my husband, and I went to North Avenue to mend the pantry. As we are not DIY people, it took a long time on the street. Some local people came by and noticed that we took longer. Eventually, they brought their own tools and helped us. We had a general chat about the lockdowns, and some people gave us lovely comments that the pantry has been so brightening up the community. It is a great way to help each other. They could not understand why people would break this wonderful project, and they said they would look after the pantry from now on. It was such a sweet conversation that I had during the gloomy lockdowns. Second problem, one person takes everything. Whenever we put some items, we've noticed many occasions that one person took everything. What would you do? Will you stop the person? It is not only our problem. It happens in America and many other places too. I have had many meetings with both teams and asked for some advice from other agencies on this issue. But we've agreed after all, we cannot stop them from taking everything. We don't know whether they may sell the items or they are in desperate need. We only provide what we can. Of course, we put up a gentle note. Please take what you need and think of others. And added on some agencies' numbers to contact if they need more help. Nevertheless, some people still take everything. Nowadays, we notice that even after the pandemics, both pantries are getting empty very quickly. Many families are needy, and their desperation has been demanding more than our thoughts. People may complain about a certain community, and they put nasty labeling. They won't be changed, as they are always like that. They have lived for long-term poverty, so how we can change it suddenly? Yes, I understand it. And some places may request a long-term project to change their attitude. I don't want to say that a Little Free Pantry had changed the community from one to the other. It is such a little project in Chelmsford, and it may look like a bottomless pit project. As the pantry demands more donations, then people would fill it up by themselves. Yes, it might be a bottomless pit project. Yet I believe that God's love has been spread to the people who are left out of the social system. People might receive a loving message with the Little Free Pantry. Someone cares for me. I received a letter at the North Avenue Pantry one day after the launch event. It said, "Thank you," and £1 coin in the envelope. I met one couple at course. He said that we live in a garage nearby this church. Thank you so much for your food. Without this pantry, we would be in a dangerous situation. We will bring some food when we can. Many residents told me that they appreciate this project, which provides opportunities for them to help their community. It seems a genuine church's work, working together with the neighbors, not only with the church people. It is the smallest project, but I believe that it makes gentle waves to the community. I call it a small faith project. With this small action, we've been learning how to live together, and we've been witnessing how God uses us to make a small wave of His love to His people. Thank you for listening. If you have any further questions or would like to know more about Chelmsford project, please contact me. Thank you and bless you.